Hi, welcome to 90% Knitting. This is episode 180, and I'm Lisa, your host, also known as Fiber Nymph on Ravelry, Plurk, and Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera directly because I'm trying to get things back in order. I just recorded this whole episode, and I went to review it and realized it's not there. I've got some weird little box in my Logitech bar underneath the camera, and it's showing up, it's not there. It's like I recorded for 45 minutes and now I need to do it again. So my mother is on her way over here. I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to try to do this post haste. So I apologize if this seems rushed, but I just did this and I'd like to be able to get it done again before she arrives. So anyway, welcome. Hi. I don't remember what I've said and what I haven't said already. This is not good. I know nobody introduced themselves in the 90% Knitting board, and so I don't have to welcome anyone, but I will say welcome if this is your first time viewing. Thank you, and I apologize if this is going to be a little bit rocky at this point, but I can't really do anything about it because I wanted to get this recorded. Hate technical issues. Anyway, we're going to just dive right into the 90% part because we need to expedite this. I have a finished object. The zombie waffle socks are done. Yay! These have been in the works since September, and these are for my son, Christopher, who actually has a birthday next week. So even though he knew I was knitting these for him, I believe he's going to be getting these as a bonus birthday present at this point. So, and I wanted to show them to you before I gave them to him anyway. This is my Fiber Nymph Dye Works Squish 2.0 base, which is the Corriedale Nylon blend. And I knit it up in, or I dyed it up in the Double Tap colorway, which is my Zombieland inspired colorway. And I used the Blueberry Waffle Socks pattern by Sandra Turner, or Sandy Turner, which I modified to use for fingering weight because I think it's written for DK or something. But a lot of people have done it with fingering weight. It's really just a very nice, waffly, almost like a thermal kind of fabric. That's what it looks like. Super easy. I love making it. I did True Afterthought heels on it. These sock blockers are way too small for his big feet, for socks that fit his big feet. That's why they're looking a little weird here. But these are probably the matchiest socks I have ever knit. They are almost identical, like down to the toe and down to the cuff. Like seriously, I've never done socks this matchy. That will be lost on him, but at least I know I did them. So anyway, they're done. I'm glad to have them done. I used my usual 1.5 needles, US 1.5s. They're finished. I only had, this is all I had left. It's like 13 grams. So I used almost that whole skein, which I don't usually do for sock yarn, but he's got big feet. So anyway, all right, so that is my only finished object. I do have works in progress, of course. Sorry, I'm itchy because I showed some fiber before and now it's like in my nose. But anyway, all right, so my Drops Fobble Sock. Okay, here's the finished one. You've seen the ankle sock a bunch of times. I made some progress on the second one, which I was in the gusset decreases last time you saw it. I finished the gusset decreases and gone like another 1.5 inches on the foot. I actually got a little overzealous with my gusset decreases and decreased 4 stitches too many. So by the time I realized that, I was not about to rip back. I just will have one sock a little smaller than the other, and I'm fine with that because they're just going to be socks I'm going to wear around the house. I don't care. But it's coming along. You know, it's fun yarn. I like the patterning. I can't say it's my favorite thing I've ever knit, but it's okay. I'm hoping to get through that second sock with the yarn that I have, and I think I should be pretty close. I don't want to have to break into the second ball. Anyway, that's in my bags by Awesome Granny Bag, which I'm going to do that drawing. I've already technically done that drawing since I recorded once already, but I will announce the winner of this, that drawing in a little bit. And I do have something else in here, but I can't show it to you yet. So I'm sorry. I feel very flustered now. Darn it. Another work in progress that you haven't seen in a while is this shawl, my pumpkin season shawl that I started probably back in September also. And this is just my basic elongated triangular shawl recipe that I'm doing, where I increase on the ends on both sides and just in the middle on the front side. And I was basically started doing this because I wanted to use up this yarn that was in my stash. The orange is Plymouth Tweed, number 5327. The red and the green are Queensland Collection Kathmandu DK, and the red is color 434, the green is color 433, and I'm knitting the whole thing on US 8s. I decided to pull this out because I'd really like to get it off the needles. I'm not going to be able to use up all of the yarn, because basically this was going to be a stash busting project. I'm running out of the green. That's going to be what I run out of first. That's all the green I have left. So my plan here is to do one more orange segment, because I started with a color segment and then I did an orange. And then each stripy segment is getting a little wider, and so is each orange segment. So wider, even wider still, and then this last one was quite wide. So now I'm going to be doing a really wide orange segment, and then I'll finish with the red and the green that I have left, and then that'll be it. It'll be done. I'm going to have a lot of orange still left. I think I have over 4 full balls of the Plymouth Tweed. I'd say I'm probably going to use maybe 1.5 more to finish this big segment, but at least it will have used up a good bit of yarn, and I'll have a new shawl. So I'm not crazy about the shawl. It's not turning out exactly as I thought it would, but it's okay. It, you know, like I said, it was meant as a stash busting project. So anyway, I worked on that, and then I started some projects because, you know, what else do you do whenever you have like a lot of things you need to finish? You start new things. This one I alluded to last week. It's a hat. It's called the Zombie Killer Hat. That's the pattern by Luciana Young. Do I have the pattern here? Yes. Here's a picture of the pattern. It's just a nice big slouchy hat, which was also inspired by the movie Zombieland. And I am knitting this out of Shirtsy Cat Designs yarn, which I think last week I called it Shirtsy Cat. It's not Shirtsy, it's Shirtsy. Shirtsy Cat Designs yarn by Kelly Straub. I got this at Indie Knit and Spin, and the color is Calliope, and I love how it's knitting up. The pattern called for doing the brim on 10s and the body of the hat on 10.5s. I do not have 16-inch 10s, and I realize this every single time I go to knit something that calls for that. So I used 9s, which it's a hat, it's stretchy, it'll be fine. So the brim I did on US 9s, this body of the hat I'm doing on 10.5s. I am finding this kind of hurts my hands because I'm not used to knitting on needles this large, so I can only do a few rounds at a time, and then I have to call it quits. I realized, though, this week as I was knitting on this, that there is not as much yardage in this skein as I thought there was. I don't know why I thought there was like 200 yards in this skein. There's not. There's only like 137. The pattern calls for like 160 yards of bulky for the version that I'm doing. So I did order a second skein from Kelly, which came in the mail yesterday. So I'll have plenty. And being as variegated, I mean, this is what it looks like in the ball. It's just so random, and there's a lot of the white. I'm not worried about it matching up because I think it'll be fine. I'm not going to alternate skeins or anything. It's just a hat. It'll be fine. So anyway, that got some work on it. I really like that. I can't wait till that one's done. So that'll be so comfy and warm. And then I accidentally started another hat. How do you start a hat accidentally, you wonder? Well, you start cleaning your office and you find a cake of yarn that has been caked up for well over a year and has a pair of needles sticking in the top of it and a pattern sitting underneath it, and you realize that you meant to start this hat, you know, over a year ago and you never did. So suddenly you find yourself sitting and casting it on. That's what I consider an accidental hat. I had this set aside to do the Sockhead hat by Kelly McClure. And so that's what I'm calling it, my accidental cast on hat, but it's a Sockhead hat. That's the pattern I'm using. You've probably seen it a million times on other podcasts. This yarn is yarn that I dyed up as a custom order for somebody who needed a lot of mini skeins for a retreat a couple of years ago. I had leftovers from each of the large skeins, though, from when I was splitting it into the minis, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I tied them all together end to end and wound them into a ball. Well, I was tying them end to end as I was winding them into a ball. So as I started knitting this, I realized how many ends there were. I'm going to have a lot of ends to weave in because about every inch or so I'm running into a set of ends, like a knot that I have to cut. and tie. So, well, not tie, but weave in. But I've made a ton of progress on it. For something I started accidentally, I've been going to town on it. It's so much fun to knit. And I think the reason I put off starting it was because I thought, oh my gosh, a hat out of fingering weight, that'll take forever. It's not, because it's kind of all I want to do, and I have to make myself not knit on it. So I did the 4 inches of the brim, and I'm, a couple inches into the body of the hat now. And I'm using one of my cool little skull stitch markers that I got at Indie Knit and Spin by One Sly Fox. I just think that's so cute. Yeah, I kind of have to make myself not knit on this and work on other things because this is sort of all I want to work on. Isn't that always the way? Okay. And I'm keeping it in my cute little bag that I got from Highlands on the Fly that Heather's husband Paul made. So. All right, so that's all of the knitting. I do have something on deck though. I was gifted a pattern this week by Melissa, my friend Melissa from Meltran Designs. She has published a new hat pattern, and it's called Color Tracks. So she actually used some of my yarn to knit a couple of the versions of this hat, actually 3 of the versions that are shown in the pattern. She has 4. 3 of them are from my yarn. So this one on the cover page, that is knit out of my Cozy Base. She used turquoise blue and an undyed skein, and then she did a second hat because 2 full skeins will give you enough to do at least 2 of these hats. She just alternated the colors in which sections she was doing them. So this is blue and white, the other one was white and blue. And then the other one she did out of my yarn, let's see, what is it? Is this one. This is actually a colorway I don't do anymore. It was a club colorway a long time ago. It was called Apple Harvest. But she had my leftovers of this because I had sent her my monster to finish, if you remember, a long time ago. And this was the yarn that I had from the monster. So she used that, the self-striping. So that shows how it works out with the self-striping yarn. She also did a version out of some Leading Men Fiber Arts. They're minis, some mini skeins. So that's out of some Leading Men Fiber Arts. And I don't know if that was fingering weight held double, maybe. I honestly don't know. But anyway, there's so many different ways you can do this. So she was kind enough. Yes, she did minis held double. That was fingering weight, the Leading Men Fiber Arts one. She was kind enough to offer 2 of her patterns for the Color Tracks hat as a giveaway for us. So yay, thank you, Melissa. So I'm going to start a thread after I finish recording, and I will put that up for the giveaway for the patterns. But in addition to the pattern from her, you will also be winning 2 half skeins of my Cozy Base, which is the worsted weight base, in the colors of your choice. So you'll be getting both the hat from Melissa, the hat pattern, and the yarn to make the pattern from me. So that will be 2 of those sets. Eventually, I think I believe Melissa's going to let me offer these in kits for my shop as well. I don't have that all ironed out yet, but I'm really hoping to be able to do that. So stay tuned for that. But for right now, we'll do them as a giveaway. 2 giveaways. So you can be looking for that. And I will leave that thread open through 2 podcasts. So I'll do the drawing for that in episode 182. Let's see. That was all the knitting. Spinning. I did do some spinning. Where'd my spinning go? I finally started my Shetland for the spin along, and I did all of the ecru. The ecru is the one that I have the least amount of fiber because, as I said, I'm using kind of what was left over from all of those spinning sets that I put together for you guys. So I had a little over 2 ounces of the ecru, so I spun those up, and they are done. So I will move on to the fawn next. It took me a little while to get into a spinning groove with this. The first half of it, I was going too fast and it kept wanting to break. So I had to slow down. Spinning slow is not my forte. I like to treadle really fast, but I finally got a grip and figured it out. So, and just to remind you, the spin along, the natural colors spin along is going on through the end of the year. So started November 4th or 15th, sorry, November 15th through the end of this year, December 31st. To qualify for a prize, you need to spin at least 4 ounces of one type of fiber. that has been undyed, and that's the only qualification. It has to be undyed. It can be plant fiber, it can be animal fiber, it doesn't matter as long as it's not been dyed, and as long as you have at least 4 ounces of it if you want it to qualify for a prize. All of the guidelines and rules for the spin along are in the group, in the general thread. I have added the finished object no chatter thread, so once you finish a spinning project that qualifies, please post your picture with the pertinent info, and you'll be entered for the drawing. So, again, the prizes, we have a $25 gift certificate to dyedinthewool.biz, and that was donated by Benita from the Fiber Pusher podcast, who's also offering us a 10% coupon through the end of the year for that shop. FND10 is the code for that. I'll put that in the show notes. I have my fiber sampler that I will be sending out to someone, which, again, I don't have it ready to show you, but it will be eventually. Lastly, I did get the 3rd prize in the mail this week, and this is some beautiful kid mohair that was donated by Christine, who is Iona Paint on Ravelry. She has Angora goats that she shears, and then she processes the fiber and drum cards it into bats. And this is 2 ounces of fiber from this year, spring of 2015, from her one goat who's named Fudge. He's really cute. She sent me a little picture of him. It's just this beautiful, very dark brown mohair. It's so silky and soft. Sometimes you think of mohair, you think scratchy. It's not. It's beautiful. So she said this would be awesome spun by itself, or it would be great blended with something else. So whoever wins this, I hope you have a lot of fun with it, because it's really gorgeous fiber. So thank you, Christine, for offering that as a prize. Speaking of prizes, I did do the drawing for the bag set by Bags from Awesome Granny, who is Darlene. She was kind enough to offer us a bag set of the winner's choice. So that was very wonderful. She's also offered us the 15% off discount for her shop through the end of the year using the coupon code FiberNymph15. And that's an Etsy shop for her. So I will, again, put those links in the show notes as well. But when I recorded the first time, I already did the drawing. So I'm just going to announce the winner this time. The winner was post number 31 from the drawing thread, and that is MLA Love 1718, who is Amy from Cincinnati, Ohio. So congratulations, Amy. You are the winner of the bag set of your choice from Bags by Awesome Granny. So when you hear this and you know you're the winner, please PM me on Ravelry, and then I will connect you with Darlene, and she will get your bag set to you, or work with you to get your bag set. You need to let her know probably what fabric you want. And that was my question for your entry. You had to post, like, go to her shop and let us know what fiber or what fabric you liked the most. And Amy said that she was torn between knots and Christmas ornaments. So hopefully one of those is still available for you, Amy, and maybe you'll be able to get one of those bag sets. But anyway, congratulations. Thank you for participating. Thank you to everybody who entered. We had over 200 entries for this drawing. So I'm really glad that you guys got to check out her shop. And thank you again, Darlene, for offering both the coupon code and the bag set for the drawing. That was so generous of you. So thank you very, very much for that. Okay, that's everything for the 90% section. Let's see, 10%. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I am hosting dinner here. We're a small group anymore, but that's okay. Emma is home from school. She got home late Monday night. My mom and stepdad, Ralph, they got in from Florida earlier around dinner time on Monday, so that was wonderful to see them. I hadn't seen them in about a year and a half, so it was great having them here. Actually, my mom's on her way over now, like I said, which is why I'm trying to get done sort of quickly. But anyway, yeah, she's spending the day. Today is like pie baking day and stuffing making day, and I always make my stuffing the day ahead, and then I stuff the bird Thursday morning and cook it. So yeah, we'll be doing that kind of stuff today. Anyway, I just can't wait. It's going to be such a fun weekend. And we have other things planned throughout the weekend as well, which will be a lot of fun. As far as other things, I wanted to tell you about a CD I got, because I don't usually buy CDs. I usually just download music digitally, you know, like through iTunes or Amazon or whatever. But I bought this because it's Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's their latest. It's called Letters from the Labyrinth. And if you're familiar with their music, you know that there's always a theme, a story that goes with their their albums. And without the booklet that comes with the CD, you really have no idea what's going on. I have not been able to read this yet because it is itty bitty little white print on a black background, and I just need to sit in good light, probably under my light with glasses on, to read all that. However, the middle section is done in comic book form, which I'm assuming is part of the story, but it's not the whole story. So anyway, but the music is really, really good. And I did order this through Amazon, and for the first time ever, when I ordered this through Amazon, they also sent me a link that I could download it digitally as well as end up with the CD. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I was able to listen to the music immediately while I waited for my 2-day free Amazon Prime shipping to get the CD. So anyway, been enjoying that. And I started reading another book, and this book has been on my shelf forever. It was published in 2001. I bought it at Sam's Club at some point. I haven't bought anything at Sam's Club. Well, I haven't bought books at Sam's Club in years and years. But anyway, it's called Pennsylvania Curiosities, Quirky Characters, Roadside Oddities, and Other Offbeat Stuff by Clark DeLeon. DeLeon, I don't know. I live in Pennsylvania, and it's always just fun to read about quirky stuff going on in Pennsylvania. Some of it's actually places that you can visit. Other, it's just stories about people. But it's all pretty interesting. Some of it I've heard of before. Others, I've never had a clue. So it's been fun to read. I pulled this off my shelf because I have a bunch of books about like biking trails and hiking trails and stuff in Pennsylvania. And I was looking for some things in that, and I found this. And so it's like, oh, I think I'll read this. And they're really short little entries. They're like maybe a page and a half each. Oh, gosh, my doorbell just rang. Hang on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. That was the doorbell. I don't know why my mom rang the doorbell, but she's here. So I need to finish this up. At any rate, what was I talking about? The book. Oh, I finished telling you about the book, so that was really all I was going to say. I think the last thing I was just going to mention is a little bit of shop news. There is not a shop update this week. There will be one next week, though, on Friday, December 4th at noon, and that will be my Christmas colorways update. I will record again before then so I can show you what yarn will be up in the shop at that point. So I'm not going to show you any yarn today, but just be aware that that's going to be happening. However, this weekend I am going to be having a sale, and it's the Shop Small sale that I've done, I think, the last couple of years. Since Saturday is Shop Small Saturday or Small Business Saturday. Friday's Black Friday, which I don't do Black Friday shopping. But if you want to do it from the comfort of your own home in front of the computer, why not? You can still spend time with your family that way. And then Monday's Cyber Monday. So my Shop Small sale will be starting on Friday and running through Monday. So 4 days. Use the coupon code SHOPSMALL15, all one word. And Muffin's not happy that somebody has entered our home. Anyway, yes, SHOPSMALL15 all together, and that will take 15% off your order. Now that is good on anything that's in stock in the shop. It's not good on special orders, reserved listings, and it's obviously not good on gift certificates. That little disclaimer will be at the top of all those listings. If you do inadvertently happen to add one of those things to your order, I will end up getting in touch with you to, work out getting the balance of that taken care of. But it's for in-stock items, and there's a lot, because when I did the show leftovers update last week, which, by the way, thank you, you guys were really awesome about that update. I hope you enjoy all the good things that you got from that, but there's still a lot left, so there's plenty to choose from. So please take advantage of the sale this weekend and grab up some of those other good things that are still sitting in the shop waiting for you. Let's see, the November minis of the month, I wanted to let you know, those will ship out by Monday, November 30th, and the December minis of the month will go up for pre-order on Tuesday, December 1st. I do not have those ready to show you yet, but as soon as I do, I will post pictures in all of the usual places on the Fibernymph Dye Works Facebook page, on Instagram, and in the Minis of the Month thread on the Fibernymph Dye Works board on Ravelry. So you will get to see them. And of course, they'll be up in preview mode as soon as I can get them up in the shop as well. So you can look for those on Tuesday, December 1st. So. Alrighty, I think that is everything. I'm sorry this seemed rushed, but after my technical failure the first time around, this was sort of frustrating. And I'm sure I probably forgot to tell you some things that I did tell you the first time, but we'll just go with this for now. let's see, I told you the really important things. I wanted to make sure I told you about Melissa's pattern and that drawing that'll be coming up. I did the bags for Us and Granny drawing. I'm just looking through my notes real fast to make sure I didn't miss anything really important. I showed you my knitting. I showed you my spinning. Thanksgiving. So I think that's everything. I will be putting the show notes up with all the pertinent links. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to PM me on Ravelry or email me, fibernymph@gmail.com. And other than that, I will talk to you next week. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're here in the U.S. and you celebrate it. Otherwise, just have a really wonderful weekend coming up. I hope you enjoy time with loved ones and friends and family and all that. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.